What is the one move India must make urgently to stand next to US and China as an AI superpower? Today, in under 5 minutes, I'll show you what India already has, what it is missing, and exactly what will make or break India's AI sovereignty. Stay with me till the end because I'm going to show you a bonus factor where India already has a strategic global advantage, something critical for future AI and quantum computing. And it places India in the top 10 countries in the world. Let's start with India's strengths because they are bigger than you think. India has world's third largest solar capacity, scaling without regulatory paralysis choking the US and Europe. And India has abundant sunlight and a massive STEM workforce. This is a stellar combination. Cheap energy plus huge STEM talent is the base layer every AI superpower needs.
The key to your children being rich is to make sure they have cheap energy. There's no such thing as a rich, low energy country. There's no such thing.
Exactly. And yet, with these advantages, India is still not in the top league with the US and China. Why?
It's now impossible to run modern civilization without computers. It pretty soon will be impossible to run a modern civilization without AGIs basically intermediating every single step. Are those AGIs under the control of your geopolitical adversary? Are they able to turn them off? Are they able to confuse your political systems through manipulation of information and fundamental systems?
This is the part we rarely talk about in India. If your AI runs on someone else's chips, your future can be turned off, throttled, or manipulated from the outside.
I think a lot of countries have realized that if their ancestors made the effort to put nuclear missiles on submarines 50 years ago, now is the time to put an AGI within their own borders. The problem is this is a race that is defined by your ability to attract the very best in both liquid capital and human capital. For India's perspective, my understanding is that India's indigenous ability to fabricate chips is not sufficiently competitive. But that aside, I think all the other pieces could exist within India's borders. And if they wanted to have absolute digital sovereignty in the future, they'd need to get their act together on chips pretty quickly. And it's not that hard in the grand scheme of things.
This is the core. And remember, the bonus factor coming in the end ties straight into this. Coming back to the chips, the US leads AI because NVIDIA, AMD, and Google's TPU ecosystem live there. China leads because it built its entire chip and compute stack domestically. Today India ranks outside the top 10 in high-end semiconductor fabrication. India currently doesn't manufacture advanced AI chips like those of NVIDIA B100s and B200s. And here's the scary part. If India doesn't control its own high-end chips, India cannot control its own AI future. So here's the answer. The one move India must make. India must build sovereign AI-grade semiconductor manufacturing fast, not generic chips, but AI-specific hardware, B100, B200 class GPUs, 5 to 7 nanometer nodes, high bandwidth memory packaging, silicon photonics for data centers, India's own GPU NPU architecture, and a national AGI class compute cluster. And here's where it gets interesting. India has already started moving. Recent breakthroughs. Semicon India is moving from 28 nanometer to 22 nanometer to 14 nanometer nodes. Tata Electronics teams up with PSMC to launch India's first AI-enabled semiconductor fab to meet the rising AI demand. The 76,000 crore incentive is one of the world's largest chip investments. Startups like Incor, Morphing Machines, Mindgrove and Adya are designing India-first processors. And India is quietly becoming a global hub for RISC-V, the open hardware architecture of the future. Yes, these are early steps, but the direction is right because the countries that control compute will control AI models, which will control economies. The window for India is open right now. And here's the bonus factor for India that most people don't know.
If you take a look at like critical mineral leaders, so there are 10 countries and including India. So India has the deposit of rare earth elements.
Rare earth elements are the backbone of GPUs, EVs, quantum computers, and China ranks number 1 globally. And India quietly ranks in the top 10 clusters with major strategic deposits. But minerals only matter if we extract, refine, and commercialize them. If India fixes this supply chain, then we unlock a fully self-reliant loop: energy, minerals, chips, AI. This is how AI superpowers are built. So, the equation is simple. India already has the talent, it already has the energy, it even has the minerals. But to stand beside US and China as an AI superpower, India must own its AI chips, because the nation that controls compute controls intelligence, and the nation that controls intelligence controls the future. India could realistically become the third global AI superpower, not by 2050, but by the early 2030s, if it builds AI-grade semiconductor sovereignty and not only attracts but sustains the brightest minds here in India.
Step one in conquering the world was to convince all the really bright people to emigrate.
So, the final question is not just about chips, but about people. How do we attract, retain, and empower India's top AI talent? And how do we stop the next wave of brain drain? Tell me in the comments, what do you think India must do? If this video changed how you see India's AI future, please do like and share it with fellow Indians who need to hear this. And if you want to be a part of India's AI risk literacy movement, then hit the subscribe button, because this is just the beginning.